Hi there, I'm Melissa Moody, co-founder of Wednesday Women and executive producer of The Ripple, bringing you a special series of episodes where we sit down with the incomparable Glo Harris. Glo has spent decades coaching and mentoring leaders at the world's most iconic companies: Google, Facebook, McKinsey, LinkedIn, Atlassian, Amex. And she's been kind enough to share with us the perfect mix of therapy-infused depth and executive insight. Her candid wisdom hits home on every level: how we work, how we lead, and how we show up for the people we love. So if you're looking to grow as a leader and as a human, come join me and let's get real with Glo. Today, we talk about the part of leadership everyone feels but rarely names: the emotional toll, the pressure to prove yourself, and what it means to be too much. First, let's hear what Glo has to say about something that feels almost universal right now: burnout, and how she's seen the emotional load on leaders shift over time.
Most of my work has been with the women over the last 20 years, but in the last 5 or 10 years, more women are choosing to partner with, if they choose to partner, they're choosing to partner with either a man or a woman who is delighted to stay home and be the house husband or housewife, delighted to take the burden off the type A person in the relationship who desires to do more of the work in the world and who's better equipped to earn the income that families need. So in many ways, the women that I've worked with in the last 5 years have partnered with people who take that burden off of them. I think in addition to that, as women have grown in the last 30 years, so have the men at work. The men at work are more evolved than they used to be, and they're readier to not expect exactly the same things from women that they expect from men. There, at least in the companies with whom I work, there's been lately, last 10 years, more permission given to women to make sure they get to the ballet performance, to make sure that they take time off to pick up the nanny or pick up the kids after school, or to take a longer maternity leave. There's now maternity and paternity leaves in most of the companies with whom I work. There's also money given for fertility treatments in most of the firms that I work. Given that so many companies are now giving paternity leave, I don't think it's happened enough for men. I mean, women, many of the women that I work with would say that the expectations on them to break the glass ceiling are as great as they are on men. That may be true. I don't think men see it that way. I think that men see it that women do get extra breaks and should get extra breaks, that there should be more allowances for women who bear the children and who, but women don't quite believe that because we start from a one down place. We haven't been working that long, truly. We've been working for 40 years, 45 years.
As our focus with Wednesday Women is on women executives, I asked Glo what's shifted for women at the highest levels over the last few decades, and what hasn't.
So I've been in the corporate world of bringing my psychotherapy to a kind of a coaching situation, and that's only been 25, 30 years. And so 40 years ago, the only CEOs, women CEOs that I heard were in the helping professions. So in social work positions, in education, in maybe hospital administration, in not-for-profits, in life, of a when I first started meeting people that were in, how do I put it, I don't want to in any way denigrate people that work in social work kinds of settings, but who were in Fortune 500 companies, let's put it that way. The expectation was different. And women, first of all, women weren't sure they belonged. Women were pinching themselves that they were getting jobs in that area. Men were not happy about women joining because very quickly it was shown that women work just as hard as men and are just as smart as men and in no way are one down to, I mean, one of my teachers used to call it the penist people.
Very direct.
But it's taken women several generations to feel entitled to really sit in the executive suite, to behave as if they own that seat, to know what it means, to know how it's different. Women are a model to all the other women and men in the organizations they work, and can no longer hide behind being a woman.
We soon moved on to talk about one of the biggest internal battles that leaders face, the pressure to prove themselves, often more to themselves than to anyone else.
You know, I think it's more proving to myself that I belong than it is proving to others that I belong. Because if I'm the kind of person who says I'm going to do something and I do it, I deliver. If I am, so that would be being reliable. I'm also show that I'm bright enough to offer my opinions with candor and care, I'm going to be seen as a person who can build trust, be reliable, show up, do their thing. If I'm a person who's open enough to be vulnerable and know that building relationships matter and do that, others will see me being reliable. I think what gets more in my way is me. Mm-hmm. Me not dressing appropriately, looking appropriate, being unafraid to say my truth, being filled with, excuse me if I ask this question, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but these sorts of self-deprecating things that women tend to say as they're afraid to enter the conversation. Those are the derailers, and that's teachable, trainable.
Next, I asked Glo about a tension we hear from women very regularly, being told that they're too much or not enough, often in the same role or situation.
I'm the kind of person that's very open with what a person's impact is on me. So yesterday I was working with a woman whose energy was pushing me away. They didn't want to continue hearing what she had to say. And in a very, I think, kind and yet candid way, I said that to her. And the next time she talked, she spoke differently to me. So I'm willing and wish all therapists and coaches were willing to share what your impact is on me. I certainly have been with people where I felt overloaded by them in too much intensity. And I can give them feedback about exactly what they're doing that seems intense. Sometimes it's blowing the boundary and getting into my personal space, where their eyes are 4 inches from mine. Sometimes it's talking too fast or talking too much or using too, like all over the place with body language, overly extroverted. Those people are hard to be around because I feel there's not much room in the room for me. People who don't share the space with others, the 10 people in the room, each person has 1/10 of the airtime. I think we all need help in learning how to calibrate putting ourselves in the world so that I have impact. Most of us yearn to make a difference. Well, I'm not going to make a difference if I push people away. I'm not going to make a difference if I don't draw people toward me. So it's a learning lesson. I need to have coaches, mentors, therapists, husbands, wives, who give me honest feedback as to whether I'm children, listening to their messages of, Mom, enough. I have to respect that. Or Mom, you asked me too many questions. I have to respect that. That's brilliant advice.
In another of these short episodes with Glo, we chat about the buzzword executive presence. So I had to ask about the dreaded buzzword imposter syndrome, whether it's real, imagined, or just part of being human. You'll love what she has to say.
I relish the fact that none of us knows very much. We just don't. We know about as much as fits on the head of a pin. And so those who act as if they know everything and act as if they don't have imposter syndrome, I see as phony. I do have gifts that I can deliver, and I want to be able to deliver them with some confidence. I also want to be able to say, I don't know. I'll get back to you. Or, I made a mistake. Let me get to the truth. Or, I don't have an answer to that question. Does somebody else in the room, can they help me out? I'm more attracted to people like that than people who pretend that they know everything. I say, join the club. I feel that too. You're going to die feeling that. You're going to die pinching yourself and saying, how in the world did I get to where I got?
Listeners, if you know Wednesday Women, you know we hold something to be very important: the idea of building real depth in relationships. Here's what Glo has to say about creating intimacy in connection.
Your question is what invites intimacy, and really you're saying what encourages trust building, because building trust is the key to any relationship. And how do we do it? Do we do it by my letting you know how smart I am? By maybe if you're an engineer, no, really.
I know, I'm married to one.
Yeah, and maybe for him, that's the language that he needs. And his best conversations are with like-minded engineers. And if somebody is really smart that way, he's going to open up more to them. I think intimacy is built by leaning into your curiosity, whatever it is. You're like, I'm fascinated by your necklace. Where did you get that? I mean, not how's the weather, not how are you? Not empty phrases when you first meet somebody. How are you? I'm fine. How are you?
Because those aren't really curiosity. Those
No.
are idioms. Those are just things we toss out.
And shouldn't. It's hard to break. I want to know, really, what's nice about it? So if you say,
it's lovely to see, or I love to see your bright sweatshirt made me smile when you came around the corner.
yes,
That's good.
yeah, a little beyond the it's nice to see you. What do you mean it's nice to see me? Wasn't it nice to see me yesterday?
Thanks for tuning in today, and don't miss the rest of our series with Glo, in which she gives real talk answers to the questions you're probably already asking. If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving us a rating that will help reach more listeners. And be sure to listen to other full episodes of The Ripple, spotlighting the stories and success of extraordinary executive women every week.